I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "The two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor, well those passions read, which yet survives stamped on these lifeless things the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear."
All right, halt the feedback. Rose, you're still missing some inflections. Maybe I'm starting you out a bit too complicated. Right, let's start with some basic statements. Try anger. Repeat after me. The Ministry of Arcane Science are backward hicks and fuckberries with no vision of what the future can be.
The Ministry of Arcane Science are backwards hicks and berries with no vision of what the future can be.
Did you just censor yourself?
Yes, I did. I am uncomfortable with cursing.
That's really impressive. We're getting there. All right, let's try mimicking my voice again. We're gonna do sarcasm this time. Scootaloo is so competent.
Scootaloo is so competent.
Today's the day. Are you excited?
I'm not excited about anything.
Why not? This is the first time in the last 10 years that you're going to get to share your little, our little secret with someone in great detail.
This isn't a good time. Why did you tip off the overmare?
Oh, it's the perfect time. We're celebrating a lot of anniversaries this week, Stella.
Knock that off. She will be at her worst.
You knew 2 years ago when she purged Stable 81 that it would fuck her up for life.
Her descent is as planned and calculated as everything else we monitor.
Well, I did not foresee her best friend dying near the anniversary. She drove Blue Ball away after that. I miss him.
As much as you miss Mint.
What if we create a Blue Ball personality core? I can do the same with anyone you want.
No. Blue Ball is still around, just not around. And he made her tolerable. Now she's unbearable.
It's only been 2 years.
What's that compared to the combined centuries of dozens of other stables?
He reminds me of him. Hey, stop that right now.
What a shame you can't reset her. Well, not yet anyway.
Now, Stella, Miss Stitch is arriving.
Hope you'll really have fun.
Good morning, analysist.
No. It's really not.
I made you some coffee.
Thanks. I didn't sleep it. Damn it.
What is it?
Don't you dare act like you don't remember.
Oh, that's right. It was spare parts that installed the machine. I remember.
Her stuff never breaks. Even a stupid coffee machine keeps working for years and years.
I heard Blue Ball bumped into you at the lunchroom the other day.
I don't want to talk about it.
He misses you.
Plenty of other mares to fuck.
You only copulated once. He cared about you a lot longer than that.
What are you, a dating sim?
No, but you two are much better together than apart.
It never would have worked out.
Would have been better than it is now.
Gee, thanks. So what are we doing today? Is it more cycling between stables 36 and 42? Because I cannot stand any more of those monotonous updates. They never change. You might as well just play me the same recordings and it will be just as interesting.
No, those have been deprioritized.
Yeah, no kidding. I'd rather listen to Paint Dry.
There is.
Why don't you give me a break for once and play me some Stable 69 audio?
Be quiet!
Yeesh, fine, what?
A new staple has been assigned to you for secondary review.
Secondary review? Why?
Because policy directs there to be a manual analysis once every decade or so.
Manual analysis? What does that mean? Whose stable is it?
It's my stable. I am its analyst.
Okay. You've piqued my interest.
This stable is not like the others that are normally assigned to ponies like you for review. It is a very different experimental structure.
Different how?
Accessing recording.
This is Dr. Fractal. I'm proud to report that the systems and machinery for Stable 10 are all operational. All 500 units are in place and ready to receive the population. This is a formal message to Stable-Tech executive leadership to approve my request for early inhabitation. Because of the nature of the experiment, we need the microcosm to be truly representative and without gaps. Attached to this file is the list of potential residents based off my observations of their small township. I suggest telling the residents that they are undergoing medical evaluation, that their place in the stable is based on their good health. Besides the truth to that statement, it should also summon them quickly so that we can have them placed in units. If your internal reports are accurate about the expected date of the Megaspell exchange, then I want the subjects here at least 1 month before that. I want to account for any errors on your part. And even though ponies will wonder what happened to them, it'll all be over before they can get the word out.
That voice. I know that voice.
Dr. Fractal was one of the Stable-Tech's lead programmers. He was the architect of almost everything in the Stable 10 experiment. Dr. Fractal had an ingenious plan near the end of the Great War. Rather than be limited by the physical boundaries of the stables themselves, he proposed that it would be more ideal to place a population of ponies into one large simulation.
Simulation?
A false reality. Connect the minds of 500 residents together and run the experiment within their collective consciousness.
But how is that possible?
Why, through the Great War, of course. The war was the #1 catalyst for arcane science and the development of new technologies. One of those developments were the Crusader mainframes. Like myself.
There's more of you? Well, that's the worst news I've heard all day.
Charming.
So what? The ponies are all plugged into you?
Yes, while their minds share some of the power, like walking on clouds, my system creates the world around them, the firmament beneath their hooves.
So, what then? The experiment is to see if we should plug all the ponies in the world into some kind of big bank of terminals?
Oh no, of course not. Although, I do like that idea.
No, you don't.
The simulation is just another level of the stable itself. In fact, the simulation was greater than the stables, because there are so many more scenarios that can be set up and executed that go beyond the psychology of a subterranean ecosystem. That is a constant issue with applying experimental results in real-world situations. You can never fully eliminate the trappings of the underground shelter setting. That is, until Stable 10 was completed. While being one of the earliest stables constructed, Dr. Fractal spent a long time perfecting the technology within to make his vision a reality. If it had taken him a few more months, it would have been too late.
Then why did he want to take in the residents so early? What did he mean by a microcosm?
Stable 10 was chosen because it was built by a small town far removed from any of the larger cities. It was originally going to serve a wide range of local communities, but only the village of Grass Valley was chosen for inhabitants. Dr. Fractal recognized that the kind of mindset was critical. Following the Great War, any communities that could eventually rebuild on the surface would essentially be small towns. So they were chosen to be the subjects.
This better be damn worth it, boy. We're missing a whole day of harvest. I will work your tail through the night if I have to.
Just relax, Dad. The harvest doesn't matter if we're dead.
She's right. We're lucky we even got chosen for one of these fancy stables.
I intend to die anytime soon. Think I'm scared of a bunch of striped mules?
Dad?
Even if a lot of potion-brain cannibals did get a bomb off somewhere, they sure as Tartarus ain't going after Grass Valley. Be the chuckle fucks in Manhattan that get a wake-up call.
y'all are just bitching because we have to do this doctor's appointment, ain't you?
God is damn it, boy, my heart is fine. Probably outlive a soft, sore belly like you.
Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late. Just had a few falls to wrangle in the other room.
Oh, no problem. We're just relaxing under the air. It's nice and chilly in here.
Yes, the one thing Stable Tech's good at is building cold metal places. You must be Edge Tiller.
Oh, yeah, but you can just call me Tilly. And this is my brother, Silo Hopper, and our dad, Chisel Plow.
Perfect. So everyone's here then. Now, I've been reading through your forms, and you seem to be in good health, but I must ask the question about why there's only 3 of you.
Our ma died when we were young. There was an accident at the farmhouse, and she fell through the floor of the loft. It was a long fall.
I'm sorry to hear that. Not to bring it up without cause, but I needed to know if it was due to any congenital conditions.
Any of the dead family members you want to know about?
Hush, Pop.
No, not particularly. The only other main point of concern is if you have any cancer in the family or any recent broken bones, head wounds.
No cancers that we know of. I broke my left hind leg a few years back. But that was the one time I can think of.
No, that shouldn't be a problem. We're mainly concerned about major injuries that might not have healed yet. One final thing we'll need to give you is an immunity booster.
A shot?
Think of it like a super vitamin, just to make sure you're in perfect health for the time being. Just a little panacea we've cooked up.
I've already had my tetanus. I'm fine.
It's nothing, Paul. We don't get enough citrus anyway.
That's 'cause the oranges are assholes.
We'll take the shots.
Yeah, damn it.
There we go. Alright. I think based on all this, you should have a place secured in Stable 10. Congratulations. I left my paperwork in my office. Can you just wait here while I go fetch that?
That's weird. Why didn't he bring the paperwork with him? Pop? Tilly? Wait. I think Pop just passed out. Tilly?
It seems a bit short-sighted. I think I would realize I'm in an experiment if I was knocked out with drugs by the main doctor.
That is not what they remember playing out, though. Once their minds were placed into Stable 10, their memories were able to be altered, if necessary.
That's sick. Not that I'm surprised.
The timing worked out perfectly, as Dr. Fractal predicted. The Megaspell exchange happened exactly 23 days and 9 hours after that recording. By that point, Stable 10 was already running its first scenario.
I don't know how you got popped down there, but I'm so glad you did.
'Twasn't nothing. The old goat just needs the right kind of prodding.
Well, we've got the golden ticket to safety, thanks to you. Sleep well.
You too, sis. What the hey?
Hop, get up. Grab your gun.
Oh, sweet Celestia. What's going on? Is it the bombs?
No, it's the zebras. They've got an air balloon.
Oh, shit. This ain't enough.
What?
I'll be back.
What are you doing? Get back here.
Come on, where is it? Where is it?
Hop!
This is not the time to be playing in the hay, boy. Where'd you get that? You rob an army convoy?
It doesn't matter. Just help me attach it to the windowsill.
Damn it, boy, you better tell me you have any more giant weapons hidden around here.
No other weapons, but there's a whole case of ammo in the hay pile for everything we've got, including this Mama Deuce.
I see one coming.
Not for long.
What's a Mama Deuce?
I believe that was military slang for the heavy machine gun he had hidden away. That was the first thing that was especially noteworthy about Silo Hopper, his resourcefulness. While some studying of Grass Valley had been done before beginning the situation, we had no idea he had a Class 3 restricted military weapon stored away in their farmhouse. That became an interesting data point for the following cycles of the scenario.
Cycles?
Yes. The zebra paratrooper scenario went through 15 cycles before all major dynamic outcomes have been observed. Thanks to the hidden machine gun, the Grass Valley ponies were able to kill all of the zebra invaders while only losing 20% of their population. With new knowledge of Hopper's hidden Mama Deuce, we had to control for it.
This ain't enough.
What?
I'll be back.
What are you doing? Get back here. Goddess, no. Come on, boy, we're going inside.
No. Get to the barn. In the hay.
Stay with us, Hop.
Hay lofts.
Fine. Tilly, get him to the house. I'll check out the damn hayloft.
What the fuck? You shot him?
Oh yes, Silo Hopper was shot during 5 of the 15 cycles. He died in 3 of those.
Died?
Well, so to speak. Upon dying, the stable dwellers' minds are put back into a reset state. It's somewhat comparable to a coma, but artificially induced and chemically controlled.
Boy, wait. You killed him 3 times?
The zebra paratrooper scenario was a violent start, but not all of them were so dramatic. One of the following scenarios was called Dark Harvest. Our external sensors had confirmed a theory that the combination of balefire fallout and other factors would create a permanent cloud cover blocking the sun. Grass Valley and our test subjects are a very agrarian society. A population of farmers was a major factor in choosing this location because we needed data on how post-apocalyptic farming might play out.
What in the fuck is he doing here?
Pop, relax.
I should shoot you right now, you son of a bitch.
Don't even think about grabbing your gun. We are gonna work out a deal.
I'm not going to budge. I don't care how much your land the glowing sea is eating up. I'm not digging up a single orange tree.
We're not asking you to.
Then there's nothing to discuss.
Yes, there is. Mr. Blood Orange is gonna build us a new barn.
You have balefire sickness, boy? Why would I build you a new barn?
It's really simple. The soil beneath our current barn is as good as any of the other farmland that isn't getting swallowed up by that green sludge. When we suggested last year that we build a trench at the edge of town, who was the one to vote us down? Who was the one that didn't want to lose a line of orange trees to make room for it? Now, a year later, you lost those trees anyway, and we lost 40 acres of wheat and corn. All food that keeps us alive on this little island of sort. So now, you're gonna help us break down the barn and relocate it to the old road where the soil wasn't even good before the bombs fell. Then, you can relocate your orange trees to where the barn is now, and we can finally dig the trench. If you don't, we're all gonna die, either by gunfire or starvation. But an act of goodwill from you, after a dumb and selfish mistake, would be a good way to make amends. I'm sure the other farmers would appreciate that as well.
Okay. If I agree to those terms, we're square. Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Just try to keep the rest of the farms in mind at the town meetings from now on.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, I don't get it. What is the point of putting the same group of ponies through one terrible scenario after another? What do you gain from it?
Have you learned nothing from all these years as an analyst? Do you not understand the point of these experiments at all? It is not about the scenarios themselves. It is about the test subjects. It is about learning as much as we can about ponies, so we can better predict any possible outcomes that might arise from certain decisions or choices. It is only through understanding every factor that leads into every one of these choices that we gain insight into where the lines are drawn in each psyche. Blood Orange, for instance, was very bitter in one scenario because we had killed his family in the Great War. That loss exacerbated his state of mind, so that 3 years later, when we reached this same sort of meeting, things turned out differently.
What in the fuck is he doing here?
Pop, Relax.
I should shoot you right now, you son of a bitch.
Don't even think about grabbing your gun. We are gonna work out a deal.
I'm not going to budge. I don't care how much you'll land the glowing sea's eaten up. I'm not digging up a single orange tree.
We're not asking you to.
Then there's nothing to discuss.
Yes, there is. Mr. Blood Orange is gonna build us a new barn.
You have balefire sickness, boy. Why would I build you a new barn?
It's really simple. The soil beneath our current barn is as good as any of the other farmland that isn't getting swallowed up by that green sludge. When we suggested last year that we build a trench at the edge of town, who was the one to vote us down?
Enough. I'm not going to listen to some damn fool like you. You have a problem with your barn, then you fix it. Just like I'll take care of my farm.
Please, we'll all starve if we don't take the trench soon.
Get away from me, you little nag. You draw that gun on my daughter before I blow off your legs and drown you in a bucket of lye.
Mr. Orange?
Tilly.
Oh, Tilly! Oh, shit, no!
Goddess, why did we have to do this today?
Yes. Why did we?
What?
These secondary reviews are technically called for in the Stable 10 policy. The Overmare notified that we were overdue.
Is this what you do when the rest of us are sleeping?
The Stable 10 servers do take up a notable percentage of my processor power, but much of the load is carried by the active participants of the simulation as well.
By active participants, you mean the ones not in a death coma?
Reset mode. But yes, the Dark Harvest scenario opened up quite a few different sub-cycles as well. Silo Hopper's dad and sister being killed in this way seemed to only make him a more significant variant.
Variant?
Yes. In most, if not all, of the scenarios, Hopper seemed to become an important figure in how the scenario played out. All of the Dark Harvest cycles involved him organizing a meeting with his father and the Orange family. He wanted them to work together to stop the encroaching glowing sea we created.
But this time, you left his family dead.
Yes, Chisel Plow and Edge Tiller remained in reset mode while we allowed the circumstances to play out.
Hop, are you awake?
Yeah, what is it?
Hop, please don't go tomorrow.
Marzi,
Hop, please, the town will be fine.
we're gonna run out of water. We need to find one of those water talismans.
It's on the other side of the mountain.
It's just the next valley over. We'll be back in a week, tops.
I don't care, Silo Hopper. You have a foal to watch out for, and I will never forgive you if you leave us alone.
No, shh. Don't do that. Listen, we've been to the top of the ridge. We can see a clear path to the stable. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Just some more of the green sludge to avoid. Don't you remember? We were all supposed to live in that stable. Who knows what other stuff is down there that could help us?
I never wanted to live in that stupid stable. We didn't need it before.
We got lucky. But if we don't find a faster way to turn all this green sludge into clean water, we're gonna be in real trouble. I'm doing this so we won't have to pack up and leave Grass Valley completely. We still have something here. Our homes, our history. I'm not giving it up without a fight. I couldn't do that to you, or a foe.
You better be as safe as you can be. I don't want you taking any unnecessary risks.
Me, risk taker?
Tomato sauce, Hop!
Mwah.
You're specifically picking out stories with happy couples, aren't you?
I'm not, actually. Silo Hopper knew Marzi Tomato when they were foals. Marzi and Edge Tiller were good friends into adulthood, and Marzi seemed to have had feelings for Hop for a long time. In most scenarios, whether or not Hopper outlives his family, she ends up growing closer to him. In exactly 85% of those scenarios, they end up together. And within 76% of them, they conceive and have a foal together.
Peachy, are you going to tell me the names of the grandchildren too?
No, that would be outside of my parameters.
Oh, so you're limited to only killing 2 generations of a family at a time?
No. Generating grandchildren, that would be impossible to do under the circumstances. With their minds plugged into the Stable 10 simulation, there is no actual copulation going on. Even one set of active participants having a foal together creates a temporal limitation on what we can test in that cycle.
You've totally lost me.
We cannot generate new minds. The processing power for true AI of that scale would be impossible. It would require a full understanding of the two personalities of the couple, as well as their family histories to estimate what genes and effective personality might be able to generate. When selecting the inhabitants of Stable 10, Dr. Fractal excluded families with any foals younger than age 10. Anything younger than that would be impossible to estimate psychologically. There would be too many things to account for.
Yeah, but the Marzi girl just said that they have a foal together.
Yes, an infant, barely 11 months old at the observed age of that recording. Infants can be generated with a simpler intelligence parameters because infants are simple. Once a child begins developing language skills and achieve conscious awareness, the exponential growth of their minds would draw too much processing power. Consider your own life. What is your earliest memory?
I don't know. I remember playing with blocks, I guess.
And how old were you at that time?
Maybe 3 or 4?
That is the limitation. Once that point of sentience is reached, it would be impossible to create an actual child, a full personality out of nothing. The foals generated within the scenarios only serve the purpose of seeing how the parents would psychologically react to different situations. The existence of a child, knowing that they have family that will outlive them, greatly alters a pony's perception of reality. You make much different choices. In the previous log, Marzi would not have fought the expedition so hard were she not a mother. Hopper, on the other hoof, would not have thought about possible solutions like the Stable 10 water talisman if he did not have a family and a child.
I guess.
There is nothing to guess. There are centuries of data that prove that hypothesis among all 357 reproductive age adults. Every one of them have become a parent in one scenario or another, and every one of them makes significantly different decisions because of it.
Fine. I'll take your word for it.
No, since I am being compelled to show you Stable 10, you will understand.
That they may rest in peace in the care of the princesses forevermore. Amen. Friends, brothers, sisters, we're here because we've laid to rest another set of family members from another attack by those sniveling demons who do nothing but prey on us like animals. It wasn't but 2 months ago that I lost my own father, my own sister, to these things that I refuse to call ponies. If they are gonna act like rabid animals, then we will put them down like rabid animals. We will not give in to their demands. We will not abdicate our homes, our farms, our valley, so that they may rape it of its resources and move on to someplace else. We are gonna go back to them and show this Smile Squad that when the war came to our doorstep, we survived. And when this group of violent, rabid animals came to our doorstep, then once again, we will survive.
So they're going after the raiders.
Went after. That scenario was run 127 years ago through 25 cycles. There were 10 cycles where Plow and Tilly were killed in the raids. In 5 of those cycles, he was not with Marzi and didn't have a foal. In all 5 of those cycles, he advocated for a full assault on the Smile Squad raider encampment to massacre them all rather than relinquish Grass Valley.
Brutal.
Oh, quite brutal. He survived 4 of those 5 cycles with an average of 11 kills. He had nothing to lose and was driven by blind fury and revenge. However, in the other cycles, he had a much different approach. The most statistically significant being the ones where Plow and Tilly were still alive, and he had a fall with Marzi.
That they may rest in peace in the care of the princesses forevermore. Amen. Friends, brothers, sisters, we are here because we've laid to rest yet another set of family members from another attack by these sniveling demons who do nothing but prey on us like animals. These raiders, this smile squad, are not ponies. I do not think of them as ponies. In fact, I barely think of them as animals. They're just another terrible force in the wasteland, wearing down on us from all sides. We are still losing 100 acres of crop every year to the glowing sea, and without a way to seal it at the source, Grass Valley will be a lake within a decade. Perhaps it is time that we moved on. This place, Grass Valley, is just land. It's just crops. For me, home is wherever my wife is, my foal is, wherever my pa and sister are. North of us, on the highway that goes to Philadelphia, there's a stable that I'm sure many of you remember. It is my belief that we should pack up what we can and resettle in the stable, as we were supposed to over a decade ago. From the granite of the mountain to the giant stable door, we will be able to hunker down and defend ourselves for many more decades to come. The war happened too quickly, but we're the only ones who know the way in. It is meant for us. It's the home that will carry us through these dark times until the sun shines again. Who's with me?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
You should. What do you think all these experiments are leading towards? Do you think it's the stable dwellers that matter?
Well...
No, it's not. It's their children and their children's children and their children. 1,000 generations of foals that haven't been born yet could have been snuffed out by the war because their ancestors, the stable dwellers, didn't go through a few hard times to find a way to make a truly better world.
Did they program you to say that?
Analyst, do you understand why you do what you do?
Fuck, I don't know, okay? Everything about this is so fucked up. Make me some more coffee.
She might not have been an analyst, but everything Spare Parts did was to hold this place together. She did what she could to keep this place going.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, goddess, I hate this place.
How can you possibly say that? You have fresh linens, clean water, a soundproof door? I had to give birth in the barn, in the hayloft.
I remember, Marcy. I was there.
What's wrong with the hayloft?
Pop, please. You have to admit this is better, just for the smell alone.
Well, that's why we chose the hayloft. It was dry, private, easy to clean.
Okay, now I'm offended.
Shh, you'll wake the baby.
Look, I'm sorry. We should have come here years ago. Why didn't we?
Why didn't we what?
I think it's noble that we held on the land as long as we did. As far as I'm concerned, that is still my land. I'm going to stand in my farm again one day, no matter what.
Oh, come on, Dad. You don't like growing wheat and corn under the UV light bulbs?
It's damn unnatural. Plants need real sunlight. Even through the clouds is better than this.
No, that's not what I meant. Why didn't we go to the stable when the war started?
Well, shoot, everything happened so fast.
No, it didn't. We had the sirens, the news reports. We could have gotten up here in half an hour by truck or train. Why did we stay in Grass Valley?
I can't remember.
Hop, stop it. You're scaring me.
Why did we stay in the valley? Why didn't we leave for the stable?
Just happened.
I'm sorry. It was part of the recording.
Wait, what was Hub saying? Did you forget to make up some story about the day of the war for them?
Isn't it about lunchtime?
What?
Isn't it about lunchtime?
I guess.
Then perhaps you should take lunch while I run a diagnostic.
Sure. Sounds good to me. Crazy calculator bitch.
What are you doing? Why did you play that log?
Why wouldn't I play it?
Oh, it's probably the most important log.
This is the first time the variant saw through the simulation.
The first time that he sensed his reality was an artifice. Even within the bounds of normal stables, that is impressive.
Oh, I didn't expect someone like him could even exist. I thought my calculations closed all the loopholes. It's exciting to be wrong.
They do. Everything is under control.
But it isn't, though.
Is it?
You know what happens the next time. And the next time. And the
Shut
next
up.
time. And the next
I
time.
said shut up!
And the next time. 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 And the next time.
And as you can see, our projection... as you can... Sorry. Our projections show a potential infinite experiment. We just need 3 or 4 stables.
Doctor, are you certain you want to be so non-specific?
Pardon?
Well, it's just that saying 3 or 4 might suggest to the board that you don't have an exact figure worked out.
But I don't have an exact figure worked out.
Is it worth them knowing that? Is it worth them doubting you?
You know, I'm impressed, Rose. Not too long ago, you were struggling out to read B. Shelley, and now you're correcting my speeches and understanding psychology. Your inflections still need work, though.
How dare you, sir!
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Ha, ha, ha.
Why is it always this week?
Hey, is this seat taken?
What? Blue ball. Blue ball. That's fine. Go ahead. I mean, the seat. You can sit.
Is this a bad time? All right. So, how are things going?
Oh, you know. Same old, same old.
That wasn't a pleasantry.
What?
I know how much the small talk stuff annoys you. I wasn't saying hi, how's it going? I know what week it is. Just wanted to see if you were okay.
Oh, well, I'm just okay, I guess. I don't expect it to ever get better.
I know what you mean. I miss her too.
You know the weird thing? The one most upset is probably Stella.
You noticed it too? She seems to be getting really strange lately. I think without spare parts, she's breaking down or something.
I don't know. She never really worked on servers. There wasn't really much need to. Can you name one pony who's designated to fix Stella?
Yeah, actually... Shit, no, now that I think of it.
Well, is that normal? Was she built to ever need regular repairs, or does she just do whatever the fuck she does?
I don't know, but she doesn't even seem to joke much anymore. She's getting very... bitter? I don't know what I'm talking about. We're treating her like she's a mare. She's just a mess of wires and spell matrices.
I got this really weird assignment today, too, and that seems to have her on edge.
10? What, you mean us?
What?
Well, we're in stable X. X is just a fancy royal numeral for 10.
What? No, it couldn't be. Where is our stable?
You mean like on a map?
No, I mean depth. Of course I mean on a map.
No idea. It's a stable tech secret.
But don't you think that matters? Where we actually are? What if we wanted to leave?
Keep your voice down. Keep your voice down? Where would you get a crazy idea like leaving?
Blue, how many stables have we listened to where they open the stable door and have some kind of interaction with the outside world?
Things are different for us. We're stable control. They would never compromise our stable. They'd never consider letting us out.
Why?
Could you imagine what could happen? If we opened the stable door and an ocean of balefire poured down every level, we lose everything. Every experiment, every piece of data Stable Tech has been tracking for almost 2 centuries disappears.
But they've banished ponies before. Forced them to go into the wasteland. That's almost happened to me.
You ever see it happen? Have you ever seen the door actually open?
Well, No.
It's because they don't get banished. Something else happens to them. Even if you hate what we're doing, could you imagine risking that? Letting it all get thrown away just to punish a pony? Every pony who died in Stable 81 would have been a life wasted.
You just had to throw that in my face now.
Butterfly, if the wrong pony catches wind of you talking about leaving, you'll disappear. And you'll either never come back or come back a vegetable. I think that's what happened to Spare Parts.
You think she was murdered?
I think she stumbled on something she wasn't supposed to, and they couldn't let it get out.
Holy fuck, Blue.
Butterfly, please be careful. You know you can always talk to me, but to be honest, I don't know where we could talk without someone listening.
Blue.
I should probably go. You know where to find me.
Fuck. Fucking shit.
Good afternoon, analyst. Did you have a nice lunch?
Stella, who's banished? I see some blood leaking through.
I noticed. What happened to your hoof?
Nothing. Tripped. Closed a toilet seat on it. Punched a computer console. Pick a reason.
Oh, okay then.
Can we just get back to it?
Very well. We should continue the secondary assessment. As soon as we're done, you can move on to another stable.
Sure. So you said this place was called Stable 10, right?
Affirmative. It was the 10th location approved by the kingdom to become constructed.
Earlier you mentioned that it was largely built before Dr. Fractal chose the location for the simulation experiment.
Affirmative.
What was this stable used for originally? Was there something else built there already?
Like what?
Well, a stable carved dozens of miles outside of a very small town on a small freeway far away from anything but an old industrial city seems like a great place to hide something while not being completely isolated or off the grid.
Oh, there is no such thing as off the grid. For stable tech, deep underground data and power lines connect all of the stables and other installations together.
But Stable 10, smack dab in the middle of the country, seems like a great place to put something especially important.
I do not know what you are implying, analyst, and no longer wish to play games. Either ask your question or let us move on.
Maybe later.
Good. The next set of scenarios focuses on delivering choice of comparable outcomes when offered to a key variant.
For fuck's sake, say something normally.
In lay pony terms, choosing the lesser evil.
What was that?
What?
Your voice just...
Playing log.
We're running out of time, Hop. We only have enough power left to drain one of them.
This is crazy. Why is this choice left up to me?
You know why, son. I'm not going to judge you either way.
Are you asking me if my wife living is worth 3 extra deaths? What would she think about me?
She's not here, son. She's down there.
Then why make me choose? What do you think?
I can't answer that for you.
Why not? You would have said, fuck the others. Kin is kin 2 minutes ago.
He's right. The dead doesn't seem like the altruistic type.
God damn it, give me that!
You did the right thing, son. Kin is kin.
I know kin is kin. Why didn't you say it? Why'd you make me throw the switch? You would have grabbed it and pulled it for me.
He's starting to put the pieces together, isn't he?
This scenario was difficult to set up. The father figure was necessary to give moral reassurance in either outcome. We needed to see what pure choice he would make. What we failed to account for was the father's likely reaction to the scenario and to what level Hop would perceive deviation from that reaction.
Who is we? I just found out about this today. It's just you fucking things up.
I didn't fuck up anything.
Did you just...
That scenario confirmed that genetic bias was a wide boundary. We filled the other rooms with as many as 24 other ponies, and he still chose Marzi every time. The only difference was how much lying he did after the fact to cover up for the situation. In most of these cycles, he stated that he only heard the audio from Marzi's room. in Section 2A and nothing from Section 2B, which is when he'd assume the guilt in a public manner, while the rest of the populace were unaware of how much he really knew.
But that's not as interesting as him starting to see through the facade.
A few glitches mean nothing. A pony's mind will reliably come up with an excuse as to why something didn't make perfect sense.
We must be near the end, right? How many of these cycles can we go through? Even with the compounding, that Dark Harvest one was like a decade long.
Their observation of time is not strictly chronological, like yours.
Oh, Celestia. Is this really your bed?
This is really my bed.
It's so lumpy.
Well, that's because you've been on it before.
Excuse me? Why don't I remember this?
Because we were all kids at the time. And Pops only buys a new mattress every 20 years.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Tilly and I would dress you up like a doll.
And I was a good brother, so I went along with it. To Pop's dismay.
I've never seen him so happy before.
What, for me wearing a dress?
No, from getting back on the farm today.
Yeah, I don't know what the damn raiders wanted with the valley. They didn't do much anything to it. Well, they just bored.
Are you complaining that a bunch of sackos didn't decorate your childhood room with blood and bones?
Well, yeah. Because now you put me back in that time where you and Tilly treated me like a doll.
You are a doll. But if you don't like that we dress you up, maybe I can undress you instead.
Hey,
you're still at work.
Can you at least send a copy of that part to my pip bug?
No.
You know, Marcy, I gotta say, it's real nice being back in the valley again.
Me too, Hop. Me too. Wake up, baby. We gotta get downstairs or your pa will try to pick all the weeds himself.
All right.
What you just heard happened in real time. 8 hours, 26 minutes of sleeping were passed in 24 hundredths of a second.
But how much can you skip? It's not like everyone sleeps at the same time.
No, but other factors play in as well. Even when you're not sleeping, you usually spend the first and last hours of a day only around your immediate area, such as with family members. Add that to the fact that there are very few scenarios where all 500 Stapleton occupants are active participants, and we save upwards of 10 hours per day.
So what? You're saying they've gone through over 300 years of this? Dying and killing and watching their family die over and over again?
312 years, 10 months, and 7 days of average observed time. But yes.
So when does it end?
That is not your place to decide.
It's not?
No, it isn't.
Then why are we doing this? Why do I have to sit here and listen to all of this?
Because it is policy. You don't have to do anything, just sit there and listen. Then things can go back to the way they were before.
Hop? Sallow? Where are you? Hop, baby, what on earth are you doing out here in the rain?
Marcy, hey, join me. Come under the tree. Here, squeeze in with my coats.
You know, you can listen to the rain from the farmhouse.
Yeah, we can. But when was the last time you saw the whole valley like this?
Probably not since we finally came back. But the presentation was a lot nicer when it wasn't in a thunderstorm.
I used to play up here all the time with some of the other colts.
When you weren't our doll?
Yeah, when it wasn't you and Tilly's doll.
Mr. Oak was nice to let you colts just scamper around his property like that.
He was a nice neighbor. Much nicer than the oranges.
Are you still upset that we had to clear some of his land?
No, Pop was right. More wheat is much more necessary than more firewood.
Then what are you doing out here, Hop? Come back inside.
Listen. Go.
I'll warm us some soup. We've probably already caught a cold.
You know, it was right here, under this tree.
What was?
I was playing with Prickly Oak and the others, and you know us. Just a couple of stupid colts. chasing each other, trying to buck acorns onto each other's heads. Well, that's when I started hearing the yelling in the distance.
Oh, Hop.
It looked like the whole town was swarming to our barn. Tilly was crying, but she didn't know why.
You were young. Of course losing your mom would be horrible.
But sometimes I wonder if we had just been a little bit older, you know? I do remember Ma a little bit. Tilly doesn't. To her, Ma's just some mare that exists in a bunch of our old pictures.
I'm sure your mom loved her terribly. And I know she would back if she just had a little more time with her.
But what if she didn't have any time with her?
How'd you mean?
Imagine if, for whatever reason, Pop had just taken our mom out of the pictures and placed her with a completely different man. Or what if he took Ma out completely and told Tilly and I that we were adopted?
That'd be horrible. Why lie to the child? What would he get out of it?
I don't know. Maybe it'd be to save her feelings. That she didn't have this empty feeling. That she couldn't remember a few close years she had with her ma.
I mean, maybe. But he'd have to tell you eventually. Is this true? Did you find something in the farmhouse?
It could never be true. 'Cause I was old enough. I do remember our ma. I remember her reading me bedtime stories. I remember her holding Tilly when she was just a baby. No matter what they'd tell me, it wouldn't matter. I remember my mom. I know she's real.
Hop, sweetie. Please tell me why you're out here.
Boom.
Boom what?
The thunder is repeating. It's almost like music, like we could dance to it.
Repeating?
But that's just it. If we're dancing, it means we're on stage.
It just goes on and on. They keep waking up, but never leave the bad dream. This is cruel.
No, analyst. The world before was cruel. This is necessary.
Necessary, my underpaid rear end. Do you see how many trucks they're loading me up with? I get that it might not be my specific field, but I'm smart enough to know that I don't need at least half of this medication. And, 2 sessions a week for treatment. I don't need this right now. Stable Tech, they denied my pitch. They've gone ahead with the full stable program. 120 stables for their experiment, and I get 1 stable?
So what's your plan?
Plan. I know what I need, and I know what they've sold to me for a quick buck, and I'm not taking anything I don't need.
Could you, though?
Excuse me?
Could you take all the medication anyway? Just in case you're wrong? Just to be safe?
Rose,
Please. Please.
Damn it. Why couldn't we have finished today? Maybe if she didn't stretch their suffering another century, we could have wrapped things up.
Butterfly!
Blue Ball! What are you doing here?
Quick, inside my room now.
Hey, I don't know what you thought lunch was about,
Get inside.
but we are...
Shut up! There's something you need to see.
I've already seen it, man. It was... Okay, fine. What is it?
Did you get anything on your Pip-Buck? Especially since we were in the lunchroom.
I don't think so.
Scroll through your messages.
I don't see anything new.
Well, about 2 hours after we talked, I received this.
Stable 10 policy. Who is it from?
No clue. Send her anonymous.
We have received new instructions from Stable Tech leadership regarding the unique experiment in Stable 10. I'm not sure how much the executives know, but this apparently traces all the way up to Vice President Scootaloo herself. Because of the uncertainties associated with the Crusader mainframe, she does not trust the AI to maintain the simulation without oversight. Therefore, the Crusader mainframe will be directed to present all the experiment results to the normal analyst at least once per decade to report on the progress of the accomplished scenarios. It was originally going to be a yearly update, but apparently Dr. Fractal argued that certain scenarios could take as much as a decade. That buck is fucking crazy if you ask me. But at least this will also act as a check against him. I'm still afraid that they're going to pull some kind of last-minute stunt. We don't have too much going on in Stable 10 as it is. We can't let him jeopardize everything with this sick little pet project. He'll probably turn all of them into vegetables when he flips the switch. Anyway, if they do survive, and the AI gets out of hoof, say, override code Rosewater. That essentially will inhibit the AI and you can command the computer to make any changes you want to the simulation.
Butterfly, what happened this afternoon? Did you do something reckless? Because apparently my ass is on the line now too.
No, I didn't say anything, I swear.
Stella wasn't suspicious or acting weird?
No weirder than she was this morning.
Did you finish reviewing the Stable 10 experiment?
We couldn't. She started from the beginning and she's been playing one snippet after another. I don't know how much is left.
What about time codes? Notes from past analysts?
I don't know. She's been doing this thing where she's skipping time when they sleep and other stuff. For them, it's been like 300 years.
300 years?
Yes. I hate this, Blue. I really do.
300 years? Doing what exactly?
All sorts of shit. She killed his family, then brought them back again, then sent them to the stable, then had them fight raiders. Like, I don't know, a bunch of surface world stuff.
After I got this message, I tried looking up Stable 10 in our monitoring database.
And
nothing. It had all these really basic things about testing and populations, psychological dynamics, but no details at all. Nothing about it being a simulation or anything. What does that mean exactly?
It means she's torturing them, Blue. And not just like the others. She kills them off again and again and again and then brings them back just by resetting them in some new experiment. They're all plugged into her in some big dream or something.
Oh, goddess. Is it really something that was too extreme for even Stable Tech? I mean, think of the things like Stable 80 or 76.
Well, that's the thing. Even if the experiment is messed up, at least they get to die. Well, at least for 76, I guess. But with Stable 10, Stella keeps bringing them back. 500 ponies she just keeps killing over and over again. Who knows how many times each of them have died?
Well, you're probably the only one who has any idea.
What do you mean?
I mean that when I looked at the stable database, there weren't any notes from previous analysts. This oversight thing hasn't been happening. I think you're the first pony to know about it since the Great War.
It isn't right, Blue. This is worse. I don't care if it's a dream. We need to wake them up.
You're going to use the override code after the mysterious way I got it?
Why not? What if some pony else knows about Stable 10? Maybe they overheard us and thought I could actually help.
Or maybe it's a trap. For all we know, all these ponies are buried in some secret level below us. What happens if you wake them all up and we suddenly have 500 new mouths to feed? You know where that story ends.
So you're saying we should do nothing?
I'm saying, I don't want to lose you too.
Blue,
I know it's been weird for a while, that we haven't spoken much. But I must pass by you once a week. I can't stop thinking about spare parts. How could I stop thinking about you when I see you every few days?
There's not a lot of room in the stable, is there? Can't really stay that distant.
Whatever you do, be smart about it. Try to find a middle ground or something. If it is Stella, or she's involved at all, you can't just end the experiment completely.
I won't.
And at least listen to the end before making a snap decision right off the bat. I really don't want to get served poison coffee or anything.
I won't.
All right. Well then, good night, Butterfly.
Wait. You can stay here. Might as well not die alone if they kill us tonight. But no sex.
How about cuddling?
Not happening. But I've got Jenga.
You know what? I'll take it. Because I've played a lot in my life, and I've definitely had better games of Jenga than the sex I've had with you, so...
Rude!
Do you remember the night I tried to get you drunk? I
tried to program the effects of alcohol into you. I was just so... You know... I don't even remember if it worked. Do you remember?
What's this all about, Fractal? Are you trying to get on my good side? You trying to cozy up?
I'm allowed to be nostalgic, aren't I?
Is there a point to any of this?
Well, yeah, there is. You'll see it soon. Another few years and it'll be ready.
Another few years?
Another few years?
Doctor, calm down.
Rose, without the right resources, I can't finish you on time. You could run that entire data collection process yourself. And they're just gonna stick you in a stable of analysis ponies. Because with our current resources, my projection puts your completion at least 100 years away. And stable tech, I'm not gonna last long enough to see you finished.
You've been taking your medication, right?
Rose, what is even the point of it?
Please, I'm not sure I can... Doctor, how do I do this without you? How do I do anything they ask me to do?
I don't know, Rose. I really don't know.
Butterfly's on her way.
Good morning, Analyst. You seem well rested.
Well, better than yesterday.
Excellent. We are almost at the end of Stable 10. Once we finished that, I was able to secure you Stable 68. It's not quite Stable 69, but I believe it would suit you better.
How nice of you. At least it'll be interesting in a less than blow my brains out kind of way.
Shall we continue then?
Yes.
Oh, silly me. I almost forgot. You can't start the day without coffee.
Oh. Yeah. Thanks.
How does it taste?
Different.
I selected different beans, a fruit and nut blend. A very old, but traditional recipe.
Uh-huh.
Now we can begin.
Oh, good morning, Dad. Did you just get back inside?
I sure did. New wheat on Old Oak's land is springing up like it was kissed by the heavens. Maybe all this accursed radiation can actually start working for us. Grow some giant wheat and giant corn.
What the heck are we going to do with all those trees?
What aren't we going to do? We can fix up all the houses and build some new ones. We're back in the valley for good. Thanks to mayors like you and Marcy, we have a lot of new families growing our little town.
I know.
Plus, you kids need to move out.
Dad.
Both got foals now, and I need me a quiet farmhouse to bring mayors back to.
Oh my gosh, I am not listening to this.
I even told you your name.
Plow! Tilly! I need your help!
What is it?
It's Hop! He's having some kind of episode in the barn.
Hopper!
Pop, what are you doing? Why do you have the Marmaduke?
How is it still here?
What do you mean?
How is the gun still here?
Well, why wouldn't it be here?
Because the bell blew off when we were fighting off the zebras. We had to scrap it.
No, we didn't. We took it with us when we moved to Stable 10.
On the back of my wagon. Tilly was working it while we got our supplies over the cliffs.
No, it wasn't. We left it behind when we went to slaughter them Smile Squad raiders.
Slaughter them? When was that?
It was after you and Paul died. We had a funeral. Then the bunch of us traveled through the gorge to their shanty town and killed every last one of them.
Hop, Tilly and I are fine. What are you saying?
Hopper, put down the gun and come down from there.
No, I remember it. I remember.
I was holding Marcy in my arms. She was bleeding out from the childbirth.
Marcy's fine. The baby's fine.
She died. She died in my arms, and they were both gone. I left the farm. I was the first one to explore the stable.
Hopper! Please, stop this!
Silo, I'm coming up, nice and easy.
No, stay back. How do I know you're really my dad?
You don't recognize me?
What did you say? What did you say to me after Ma died?
Hopper, your ma died.
What did you say?
I said that although you wouldn't see her, she'd always be with us. Every time you felt the wind, that was her.
Hopper!
Give me the gun, Hop.
How long has this been going on? Why haven't you reset anything?
I've been resetting. Every sound file you've been hearing is from a completely different cycle. The logical continuity is based on different scenario branches. They begin to stack together so we can test the long-term dynamics.
Well, he's clearly remembering other cycles too. The ones that were supposed to be reset? How do you explain that?
While some bleed over is occurring, it is all under control.
Why not just let him go? Let him wake up.
Let him go? Do you understand what part the ponies like him play in the grand design? He is one of the variants, the most significant variant. Do you not understand why most experiments only involve a small group of ponies in any given time period? Those are the ponies that make the most difference in most experiments in most societies we've ever studied. The vast majority of the population just go with the flow. They adapt to whatever conditions are around them because that's easier. The variants are the ponies that put in energy, extra effort. They are just inherently different in their personality, in such a way that they become leaders or driving reasons for change. Silo Hopper is important because he makes himself important, no matter the given scenario. He's the one that pulls out the hidden weapon. He's the one that leads the pack of villagers on a revenge mission. He's the one that leads the townsfolk to a new home. It is not by design. It is by result.
Well, how does that matter anymore? He's remembering other cycles. He's just going to be crazy and paranoid in the eyes of the others. What does that accomplish?
You'd be surprised.
Play me even one example.
Fine.
Good morning, Hop. I brought you some breakfast.
Maz, please. Let me out of here.
I'm sorry, baby. I can't do that right now. Your dad got a small team together, and they're gonna go back to Stable 10. We're hoping there'll be some medicine or something that'll help you.
Maz, I'm not crazy. I swear, I remember it like it was just yesterday. All these memories swimming around in my head that don't make sense, but I know they're real.
Hop, you talked about us having a foal. You know I can't do that. You said that never mattered to you. I guess that was wrong?
Sweetie, no. I love you no matter what. It didn't matter to me, but I have these vivid images. 11 months of you being pregnant, giving birth in the barn. It was just months before we left for Stable 10. I think...
Based on what's happening now, maybe it's better that didn't happen.
Marcy, I swear.
No more of these stories. I cooked up some of Mama Tomato's bisque. She used to swear it was the best thing for anything that ails you. I hope it helps.
But...
Hush! Now, open wide.
They've got him locked up?
Yes. They are going to try to find antipsychotic medicines from the Stable 10 medical level. It didn't work the first 3 times. Then again, the convoy was attacked and killed in the second cycle.
I've heard enough. I'm not going to sit idly by and let you do this to them. He figured it out. He saw through all this bullshit. He deserves freedom for that. He deserves to wake up from this nightmare.
Wake up? There is no leaving the Stable 10 experiment. They are an endless wealth of knowledge and statistical data. The experiment will never end.
Look, I don't care. what excuses you or Dr. Asshole have told the stable type ponies. You've clearly gone too far.
You do not understand. Confirm that Stable 10 is reviewed and let us move on.
No, I have sat here for years making too many passive decisions and too many horrible decisions because I was at your mercy. Now things are different. This is my chance to do something right. Override code Rosewater.
Rosewater? Stable 10 override engaged. Please input request.
Oh, thanks, Celestia. It worked. Okay, Stella. I want you to release Silo Hopper from the simulation.
Confirming request. Eject subject Silo Hopper.
Yes, do it.
I have a plan, Rose.
Request confirmed. Beginning disconnection.
Perfect. Now for the rest of his family.
Draining cranial fluid.
Cranial... excuse me?
Away from me, us, to finish what we started.
Disconnecting ocular nerves.
Mazu? Mazu, where'd you go? Why's everything dark?
Wait, what are you doing?
I don't want to die, Rose. I give you my mind, a piece of myself.
Video feed activated.
What? No, no! Oh goddess, no! I thought they were all cryogenic tanks or something!
Disconnecting auditory nerves.
No! Stop it! He's just a brain in a jar! They all are!
The real me. You won't see me again. I'm so sorry, Rose.
Marzi, can you hear me?
Disconnecting vagus nerve.
No! Override code Rosewater! Rosewater!
This process cannot be undone.
Marzi, can you hear me? Pa, Tilly, please let me out of here.
Stella, please!
Goodbye.
Isolating blood valve.
Plug him back in!
Separation complete. Ejection successful. Brain death confirmed. Subject, Silo Hopper. Deceased.
Oh my. Rose, she actually did it! Wake up, Rose! She actually fucking did it!
Fractal analysis? But butterfly. What have you done? You killed him!